Hey, welcome to Wake County Indivisible 101. We are excited to bring you this presentation where we explain all things Wake County Indivisible. If you're new here, great. We're going to jump right into ways you can make a difference. And if you've been with us for a while, hopefully you learn a few things. So today's agenda, we're going to introduce ourselves as the leadership team. We're going to talk about our vision and our mission, how to get a hold of us, how to find us with some links in social media, how to meet with us, how to mobilize, what actions you can take through our actions guide. We have some teams and some projects that you can participate in. And then we're going to talk about even more opportunities and ways to engage.
Hi, everybody. I'm JJ Van Vickel. I'm one of the co-leaders of Wake County Indivisible, and I also work on the website development team.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liz Arsenault. I work on our actions guide and starting up our documents and research group.
Hi, I'm Katie Heister. I work with the social media and also the videos group.
And I'm Laura Kasperlik, and I am taking care of onboarding and particularly this presentation, and work on many other teams and projects as well. One of our team members is also Candace Davies, and you may not hear her voice on this presentation, but you will definitely feel her presence as you continue to work with us. So every good group has a vision and a mission, and Wake County Indivisible is no different. Our vision is to cultivate a very vibrant, inclusive, nonpartisan community that is dedicated to safeguarding our democracy and human rights. We want to act as a catalyst and to harness and develop some enduring collective power at the local, at the state, and the national levels through the organization and promotion of positive, nonviolent actions and events. And while that sounds like a lot, essentially, we decided early on that we have so many great local groups who are doing a lot of good work, and we did not want to reinvent the wheel. Rather, we want to bring all of these groups together as much as we can and collaborate for all of you so that you can find the best ways to make a difference and to move democracy forward.
So a little bit about our history. Indivisible National was started in 2016 by Leah Greenberg and Ezra Levin. They were former congressional staffers, and they wrote an Indivisible guide, which was simply a website with a guide to how to do grassroots organizing. And it grew very quickly into their full-time jobs and a website and indivisible chapters all over the United States who are organizing to protect our democracy. Um, it is now a nationwide movement. You may have seen it featured on news shows like Rachel Maddow. And the interesting thing about indivisible groups is because they're grassroots, they're all different. There are indivisible groups with thousands of members that are very large, and they're indivisible groups with just a few members, but they're all organizing for the purpose of protecting our democracy. Our group, Wake County Indivisible, organized in January of 2025 with a really small Zoom of 7 people who deliberated very thoughtfully about the difficulty of forming a group like this and sustaining it. And here we are, not 6 months later, with over 400 indivisible followers on Facebook and an email distribution list of over 200 members. And here we are, Wake County Indivisible. This slide is lovely. It shows the protests that we have participated in, which is just a little part of what we do. And like Laura said earlier, we don't intend to reinvent the wheel. We want to be catalysts to promote all the organizations that are doing the good work of supporting democracy. And we want you to find us and connect with what it is that is your passion so that you can take action in a meaningful way. And we are just a little over 6 months old. And like I said earlier, with over 300 members growing daily. And we are cultivating a very vibrant community.
We hold town hall meetings. We also do informational sessions regarding the actions of the North Carolina General Assembly and our North Carolina senators and representatives. So some of the pictures featured here are from the first Senator Tillis town hall, empty town hall that we did, and we collaborated with other local indivisible groups. We also volunteer with local organizations. Of course, we are trying to protect our democracy, but we also want to keep our local areas safe and build a better community. And it's a great way to give back. So this is us here volunteering with the local organization. And JJ will go over a calendar later that is integrated into our monthly calendar.
But we do a lot of other things in addition to volunteering in our communities and going to protests. We've been able to have the opportunity to create videos and social media posts, both long form, short form, to educate people more about what's going on both in North Carolina, in Wake County, and also what's happening federally. We've also gotten an excellent chance to host social events to build our community during these increasingly alienating times. And we have that built into our calendar, which, like Katie said and JJ said, we'll discuss a little bit. And we really enjoy getting the opportunity to socialize and collaborate with other local groups for events like sign making or protest prep. And like I said, we have so many ways to get involved, whether that be packing the General Assembly, the galleries, the courts, canvassing our local communities and counties, phone banking for elections, marching and rallies. Our goal really is to come together nonpartisanly to protect our democracy and strengthen it, whether that be focusing on protecting our vote and voting rights, collaborating with local groups who are already doing the hard specialized work, or volunteering with local organizations and community groups.
So here's some ways to immediately take action. We're going to talk in a little bit more detail now on how you can engage immediately. Again, you came to these slides looking for good information. You can literally click on a link in the middle of this slide and it will take you away to some actions you can take. We're going to talk about how you can find us, how to meet with us, how to mobilize and sign up for events. Again, we talk about our actions guide, but it's so great. All of the things that Liz puts in there. It's very important to find your state and national representatives. And while maybe people nowadays do know who their reps are much more than before, it's still very important that you can find them and can take your concerns to them. As we mentioned, we have some teams and projects for Wake County Indivisible, and then even more opportunities to engage.
So how you can engage with us immediately. So first thing, definitely follow us on social media. I'll go over some of those links in a bit. Social media is great because things come up very fast. Liz does a great job of updating that in the actions guide, but we only meet a couple times for our Zoom meetings a month. So you won't get those immediate actions from there. So definitely follow us on social media for those. You can lead, join, or participate in a Wake County Indivisible team or project. Come to a rally promoted by us or one of our partnering organizations, such as Bull City Indivisible, Cary Indivisible, 5051, or any of the other local organizations. Attend our monthly social events and also plan your week with the actions guide, and you'll have access to the resources folder as well to help. And then how you can find us on social media. So we do have a Blue Sky and Instagram. Those are both public. Then we have a Facebook group that is private, and then a link tree. So if anyone's not familiar with Linktree, you will go to our this link or on Instagram in our bio where it says link in bio if you ever see us post on there. What that means is it directs you to that link tree. On the link tree, it actually just directs you to all the other links. Some are our social medias and then other are events or other things that we're trying to direct you guys to. We have some other key links and resources such as the actions guide, the event calendar, and those resources folder that we spoke about before. And then some of the partnering organization like Bull City, they have their own link tree and different social media, mobilize event page and a Google Calendar and a Substack. And we also have Indivisible National. They have their own website, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook that you can go to as well to see what National's up to.
So here's an example of how the co-leaders get together and plan. One of the things that it became clear to us in the beginning is it was very easy to get whiplash with all the things going on, and we needed to lend some structure to our planning and to our month. So the first Saturday of every month, we have a Zoom presentation that's usually a guest speaker. For example, we had Julie Von Hafen, a District 36 representative in Raleigh, come and give us a presentation on Legislature 101. Those are the kinds of things you're going to see in our first Saturday Zooms. The second Saturday is usually an in-person event. The last one was sign making for our No Kings Day. The third Saturday is a Zoom general meeting where we have teams and project updates. And the fourth Saturday is an in-person event. And we generally like to schedule this around a volunteer or an action event. The calendar that you see on the left will eventually become a formal calendar on our webpage as we are developing it, and it'll be something you can access and use to plan your month with Wake County Indivisible. Right now, it's just kind of a sloppy planning calendar that we use to kind of keep, like I said, from getting whiplash with all the things going on. It's by no means comprehensive. There are loads of things to do other than just our Saturday events.
So we talked a little bit earlier about Mobilize, and this is where you can go to sign up for all of our our monthly Zoom meetings and all of our events. Um, but Mobilize has been a great place, and this is where you can find all the action that's going on. To find Wake County specific, you can use the search box and just type in Wake County Indivisible. And we also always email the Mobilize links as well as posting them on all of our socials. So it's a great way to keep track of where you're going, what's coming up, what time, the details and the addresses for events, and they send you many, many reminders. So it's great.
Another way to check out what events are going on and how to keep track of everything is by using our Wake County Indivisible Actions Guide, which is hyperlinked in red at the title. We comb through Substacks, newsletters, Mobilize, Action Network, all sorts of different resources to pull together and create a all sort of ultimate guide of what's going on. It's organized by anytime actions, so calling your representatives about specific issues or using 5 calls or ResistBot to send messages. And then it's also got a daily breakdown of different activities that are coming up, and I'll show you more of that in just a moment. But it gives you an opportunity to find actionable items, whether that be emails or scripts to call, whether that be apps or websites to check out. It gives you a breakdown of those daily activities that are color coded and time scheduled. You have the opportunity to check it out. We update it weekly on Saturdays and then also do daily maintenance if anything pops up to make sure we add it there. But you can plan your calendar a little bit in advance for the ones that we do know about in advance. And it's very useful for when you are feeling fatigued by the amount of information but want to take action. You can check out the guide and see what you can do right in this moment in order to feel like you are getting involved. And as far as sort of that daily breakdown and what that looks like, there are sub tabs for each day of the week coming up. Like I said, we do it for the week. We start on Saturday and it goes until the following Friday, but we're continually updating it throughout the week. So you'll get those opportunities to see sort of what's coming up on deck. And on the right side, you'll see that it shows the timing of the event. It's got a little description of what it is, and it'll be highlighted in yellow if it's an in-person event, highlighted in blue if it is a virtual event, but North Carolina specific, and then highlighted in green if it is a virtual event, but it is generally related. So it might be the Southeast region, it might be the East Coast, it might be federally, it might be internationally. So that way you can go ahead and check out what's available whenever you have free time, what's of interest to you based off topic or activity type, whether that's phone banking, text banking, showing up to a protest. And if there is an opportunity to hyperlink or see more information, that'll be right next to the description of sign up here or more info here. And as we mentioned earlier, people may be a little bit more aware of who their representatives are now. But since they are making such big decisions that impacts all of our daily lives, we want to make sure that people know how to find both their federal and their state representatives and how to contact them. So we've got a guide. The left-hand side in the tan box, you can see federally, North Carolina has 2 senators. Right now it is Tom Tillis and Ted Budd. And there are their contact information, and they've got a DC number and regional office numbers as well. So make sure to flood those inboxes. And we have 14 representatives total for the state of North Carolina. And you can find your representative there. Make sure when you type in your address to find your representative, don't just do your zip code, because some zip codes, even if you live down the street from somebody, you may have a different representative of them based off of the way the maps were drawn. And that also relates to our state guide. So we've got hyperlinked in blue on the right, the North Carolina General Assembly website. That'll take you to NC Ledge, and you can see who your representative is. You can see what committees are meeting and when. You can watch different recordings or live streams of committee meetings, and you can check on different bills and where they are in the process, or if they have not made it over successfully during the current session. And you can find your NC representative there, both your NC House member and your NC Senate member.
So we talked earlier about teams and projects for Wake County Indivisible. And here we have our teams. This is our infrastructure, and we're starting to really build these teams up. So if you're interested, please reach out to us to participate. We have a video team to do some great videos and help with our social media content. Documents and research, we need to do a lot of deep dives. Our leadership team does a great job, but we can always use your help. As we mentioned before, we are doing a website, so you will be able to find so much of our content there as well. Onboarding, whatever you feel, if you want to do some member support, we'd appreciate that. And we are also developing a rapid response team. As JJ said, we're often getting whiplash from all the things that are happening, and we would like to have a team that can be very flexible and immediately respond to events as they're happening, particularly when you live in a capital city. And then I'm going to talk about our projects a little bit. And the difference between teams and projects is that teams typically is, again, for infrastructure, permanent teams perhaps. And when we talk about projects, it can be very issue focused, or whatever your current interest is, or what's impacting you. And we like to say that our project teams are performing activism from the inside out. As Wake County Indivisible, we can't always know what actions or what issues affect our members. And so we want you to bring us projects that help you develop your community, help you plan some actionable items, and continue to identify with local groups, and how to actually include everyone in our actions. As we mentioned, we cannot move democracy forward by ourselves. We're nonpartisan, and we want to include so many people for whom, again, democracy is very important.
So we have more opportunities for engagement. One of those is to use the 5 calls. It's either on an app on your phone, or you could use it on your desktop as well. This is super helpful so that you know what topics to call about, and it also provides a script, and it will also provide, this is for your senator and your U.S. House of Representatives. It will give you their phone number for the DC office as well as their local offices. So if you can't get a hold of them at DC office, you can use the numbers already listed in there, and you just call straight from there. So you don't even have to worry about trying to find those phone numbers. Next, join Indivisible Triangle Daily Call to Action on social media. They've been around for a while. They have a lot of posting in there, different action items that you can also participate in. And then you can volunteer with our local county to county neighbors on call group. They do a lot of canvassing and phone banking for our local representatives. And then you can find your representatives, Liz went over that earlier, and just let them know how you feel, definitely daily. And then our monthly Saturday Zoom calls provide you inspiration and live support, along with even more links and current events for what's happening at that time.
And so, as important as all of this work is, and with everything going on, we always want to make sure that we ground ourselves in what our purpose is. We use this quote from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from his writing of When Peace Becomes Obnoxious as a way to really kind of remind ourselves what we care about. And so he said, if peace means a willingness to be exploited economically, dominated politically, humiliated and segregated, I don't want peace. If peace means being complacently adjusted to a deadening status quo, I don't want peace. If peace means keeping my mouth shut in the midst of injustice and evil, I don't want it. Peace is not simply the absence of conflict, but the existence of justice for all people. And we really, that last line, that is our goal. That is why we come together. That is why we spend our time and use our energy and our resources and our expertises to come together and support each other, is because we want to make sure that in Wake County, that in North Carolina, and that in the United States of America, we are continuing to focus on strengthening and increasing justice for all people.
Thank you, Liz. That gave me goosebumps. So hopefully this presentation has given you an idea of who we are as Wake County Indivisible, and we hope we've given you an idea of how you can become a part of what we're working on and also influence us as to what we should be working on. So come join us, because we organize, we show up, and we do the work. Thanks.